Hi, it's Robbie again with Rapid X Rental. Wanted to introduce you to the Kato 17. This unit weighs 4,261 pounds, has a dig depth of 7 foot 2 inches, has a width of 3 foot 3 to 4 foot 3 because the tracks will actually contract and expand to help you get through a gate or through a door in tight areas. The overall height is 7 foot 10 inches. It's got a 14 horsepower Yanmar engine, and it has a ground pressure of only 4.4 pounds per square inch, yet it's got a bucket digging force of over 4,840 pounds of digging force. So it's a small machine that'll do a lot. And in this video, I'm going to give you some helpful hints and go over the controls to make your rental more successful. Thank you for watching. So as we approach the Kato 17, I'm going to go over the controls because all manufacturers like to put a few things in different spots. So initially, these two here are your drive sticks. So that's left forward, left reverse, right forward, right reverse. Both would be all the way straight forward, straight backward, right turn, left turn. So that's pretty easy. This pedal here, you can flip that over, and then side to side will actually activate your boom swing side to side. As with all mini excavators, this arm has to be up when you're in the seat to start it, and then once the machine's started and running, down to operate. This control, depending on if you're an ISO or standard, will always control your half swing, but then we'll do the boom, and the other one will do the dipper stick and the bucket. Again, those can be reversed. As you walk around over here to the other side of the machine, you'll notice that you have your throttle here, kind of behind your right elbow if you were in the seat. There's your key to start the machine. This joystick here is your backfill blade, up and down. And then the button on it is your 2-speed drive. You do have to hold it as you're driving in to keep it in 2-speed. And when you release it, it automatically goes back to 1st speed. The lever, this button, does your auxiliaries side to side. So if you had a thumb or a hammer or auger drive, any attachments that run off of the front auxiliary hydraulics, that controls them. And that's it for the basic controls. As mentioned earlier, nearly all mini excavators have a pattern changer to take you from ISO to standard or backhoe to excavator or cat to John Deere. Everybody seems to have another name for it. On the Kato 17, to find and to change the selector valve to reverse the patterns, you pull the floor mat up here, and you'll see right down there is a red valve. So you back that wing nut off and move the valve over about 45 degrees and replace the wing nut so it holds it tight. And that will swap from ISO to standard, John Deere to cat, or backhoe to excavator, whatever you want to call it. Again, right under the floor mat on the driver's side or the left-hand side if you were sitting in the machine. Now I'm going to cover how to expand or contract the tracks. So when the tracks are all the way expanded, you've got a width on the machine of about 4 foot 3 inches, and when they're retracted, you've got a stance of about 3 foot 3 inches. So it's a whole foot difference, and you can see where the hoses there run down to your drive motor, and they're braided for protection. Right in front of them, you can see where the undercarriage slides in and slides out. And the way we do that is when the machine's operational, typically this far right-hand handle does your backfill blade up and down like we talked about earlier. If we want to change that over, here this one goes from blade to spanner. When you put it in spanner and then pull the backfill blade handle back and forth, that will actually expand and contract the tracks, get them to the desired width where you want them, and then put it back over the blade so that when you need your backfill blade, it is ready to go. So it's that easy to make this machine a foot narrower or a foot wider. Okay, back to this Kato 17. We're going to go over fluid checks. So as you know, on any of these machines, you need to grease them pretty good about every 8 or 10 hours of operation, and there's grease zerks all up and down the boom wherever you see a hinge pin. Like here's this hinge pin, there's that grease zerk, and it's the same all the way around. There's some more on the front over here that actually send grease down to grease the house swing. Your fuel fill up is on the right-hand side of the passenger side. You will need the ignition key to unlock it to open it and fill it up. Your radiator cap is kind of hidden. Here's your cup holder and your instrument cluster. It's just below it, right down there. You can see it. You have to remove a little guard there to get to it real good, but it's in there. Here on the right-hand side with the tailgate open to give you access, you will see your overflow for your radiator. Just to the left of there, you've got your engine oil dipstick. Your battery's right here in the back where it's super easy to get to. You've got your air filters here, top center, and then as you move around to the left, you've got fuel filters, and just above that fuel filter, you've got your hydraulic sight glass where you can see fluid in there. And keep in mind, you just want to see fluid in. It doesn't have to be top, bottom, or middle. It's just got to be in there because you've got working ranges with your different cylinders, and depending on how much chrome is exposed on your cylinder, you'll show a little bit less in there. The actual fill for the hydraulics is just above there, right behind the left console for controls, and it's right under that cap, so you have to remove the 2 bolts to get to it. That keeps you from accidentally pouring diesel in it, but super easy. I want to thank you for watching our video on the Kato 17 for RapidX Rental. I wanted to remind you of a couple of things. One, if you've rented from us, thank you, thank you, thank you. Please tell your friends and neighbors. We need all your business. Number 2, please remember to always return our machines clean and full of fuel. And remember, upon return, we do require 3 pictures, one of the left side, one of the right side, and one of the gauges showing the hours and the fuel level. And also wanted to remind everybody to always operate safely. Call before you dig. Call your locators out and make sure you're not going to get into something that you don't want to get into. And always remember to operate safely. If you've got questions, there's a manual on board on the machine. We answer our phone as much as we can. We answer email and text as quickly as we can. So if you don't know, call. Look at the manual. Call before you dig, all that good stuff. And another thing, do not ever cross a trench in one of these machines. I know excavators do it and they do it safely. But these machines are smaller, so you've got less track width to carry you over that trench. So if the trench were to cave just a little bit, you're going to fall off into it. So always go around or work from the other side. Do not cross a trench. Thank you for watching, and if we can help, give us a call.